Hi, I'm Allie, and 2 years ago, I introduced the Fruits Basket anime to my husband.
And I'm John, and as an anime only, I'm so stoked to see which of my theories are right.
And which are questionable.
So join us today as we talk about Season 3, Episode 10, I Just Love Her. Alright, so where are we starting?
With symbolism.
Ooh!
Yeah, the symbolism of the French Open.
It symbolizes pain, despair, and impatience.
Lots of impatience, because it aired in Japan, but it didn't air in America.
Which, I don't really understand the correlation nor the causation between the French Open and Fruits Basket. They do play tennis in one episode.
They did.
Way back when, paying homage to that episode.
Season 1.
Yep.
Wait, it wasn't tennis, it was badminton.
Same thing.
That's not what the people at the French Open would say. That's why they delayed it. This is why it's your fault. Anyways, okay.
There's a war.
There's a war. Okay, so with symbolism.
Oh, there's real symbolism.
No, there actually is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
good,
we open on moths.
Ooh.
And okay, let me be real for a second. I think moths are weird looking. I can't. They freak me out. I don't know. I can't do it. I don't know why.
I mean,
I think, wasn't there a SpongeBob episode where there was a moth that really got close to the screen? And
it was a butterfly.
Oh, it was a butterfly?
We have those two in this episode.
We have both of them, and both of them, butterflies are the one insect that everyone is chill with, but if you get too close, you become less chill with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
but moths.
So I really tried. I tried to figure out which moth this was, okay, guys? I tried, but looking up pictures of moths, weird to me. Wasn't a fan. It was just kind of unsettling. But moths in general symbolize the souls of the departed. Did anyone die? No. But Tohru and Kyo, they aren't in the house anymore.
True.
And we get all of these shots of the house being empty and the lights are off and those two aren't there. It's just back to Yuki and Shigure again and the dishes aren't done and there's no food. They can't eat. They don't know how to cook. It's becoming dirty again. The kitchen will be under a mass of filth very shortly. So yes, I think it's kind of just overall the feeling of emptiness and two people not being there that were really big lights of life in the house.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I think that's what they meant. I don't think anyone died. I mean, unless it's Kyoko and Kyo's mom just chilling.
I mean, also
could be.
Also could be that.
Could be that.
Also could be that.
But I don't know. We love interpretations. Anyways.
So throughout all of this, Yuki's talking about how he wishes he didn't have to go through this world with missteps. Mm-hmm. And if only he'd taken a better path to the world he'd been looking for without any wrong turns or regrets. And I think that this is so relatable to literally everyone. The idea that you could go through the world without making any mistakes, any missteps, no wrong turns, just straight to your objective and your goal is so appealing. And for a lot of people, to an extent, it probably would be better if that were the case. But I think there's something to be said, just in general, for failure and how that helps to shape and develop us.
Mm-hmm.
So, he goes on, this quote crops back up later in the episode, and he continues with it. But I really, really liked this.
Yeah, and you get to hear his thoughts as he's reflecting on all of this. And then when we finally see Yuki, he's looking into an empty room. Whose room? Kyo's room.
And he's gone.
He's gone.
Oh dear.
No Kyo. But then after the opening, we get... Oh my gosh, when he saw the preview image of Kakeru, he didn't even react that intensely when we got married. I have not heard you squeal like that before when you just saw Kakeru's face.
It's been so long. And this episode...
You're grabbing my knee. You're
fed me. It fed me,
gosh.
Allie. Okay, so we go to the student council room, right?
Yes.
And Kakeru is asking about Tohru. He knows Tohru's in the hospital. and that Kyo's been skipping school, and he's like, yo, where's the redhead dude?
Mm-hmm.
So, question.
Okay.
Did I miss this? Okay. But didn't Kakeru have, like, something weird, like, some relationship with Tohru that they, like, alluded to in season 2? I know you probably can't answer this, but, like, are we gonna, like, find out, like, what that is? Like, he definitively alluded to knowing her, right? Or having, like, some interaction with her prior to meeting Yuki.
I'm twiddling my thumbs.
So we might learn about it.
Wow, my nails look so pretty today. Just
Okay.
gonna quickly scoot my chair back. Goodbye.
Good.
Just
I'm
like next
glad.
episode's preview.
If we don't get
Goodbye.
answers about why he knows Tohru, I will cry my eyes out.
Well, we'll see.
Okay. So Kimi then asks the question that everyone but Kakeru, and now really just her and Machi, want to know.
Yeah.
And that is, what is Tohru to Yuki?
Oh, what is she? What is she? And I love how Machi, like, she's apparently also wondering this because she slyly looks over.
She's like,
Like, oh, that's a good point. What is she?
That is a good question, Kimi. Usually we're not on the same page, but we're right here right now. But Kakeru, just like no chill. Like they had this touching heart-to-heart bro moment, and he like throws that completely under the bus. He's like, she's his mom, duh.
What does that mean?
And then he just like doubles down when Kimi's like, I don't get it. Like he's just like, she's his mom. And that's so weird out of context. It's just like, you think she's in the same grade as you, dog. Like that's strange. And then he goes on to like freaking explain it. Like, and Yuki is so embarrassed because he can't hide it.
The back of his head is blushing, your favorite.
Yeah, I love the back of the head blushes in this show.
They really get you going.
I really, every student council scene, just like really, it fuels my desire to just jump with joy.
Oh,
yeah,
cute.
It makes me happy.
Aw.
And then Uotani and Hanajima show up and ruin it.
Oh God.
No, I'm kidding. I love them, and everything that happens for the rest of the episode is also wonderful. I just was having a moment.
Didn't you say this was your favorite episode?
This is actually, genuinely, this is my favorite episode of the show.
It beats season 2, episode 24.
I think so, yeah. This one's really good. It's either this one or season 3, the one with Machi and Modoko.
Really?
I really like that one. Those are, yeah.
Oh my God, are you the only one who likes the Modoko?
I mean, I don't like the Modoko, like, stuff, but I like the episode. Like, I wish the Modoko stuff wasn't in the season, because it could have.
I wish that Modoko didn't exist as a character, but I do enjoy the parts with Machi. He's ruthless.
Oh my gosh. That's twisting my words. But, so, Uotani and Hanajima show up at the hospital. And they're wondering what happened with Kyo, and Tohru is zippa the lippa. She won't talk about it.
Yes, that's correct. But she did give a brief summary of what happened between her and Akito. And so then, naturally, Hanajima and Uotani, they have to go talk to Akito. And she says that she blames herself, but Tohru doesn't blame anyone, because that's not the Tohru way to live life, so...
Yeah, and it makes sense that this is the standpoint. I think it's so nice that they ran into Akito, as Akito was probably leaving Tohru's room. Showing that Akito genuinely cares to continuously visit Tohru. It's not just like this passing thing, like, oh, I feel bad, I'll visit once, like drop off some flowers and then peace out. You know? Like, so it kind of proves to them already, in addition to Tohru's words, that Akito's not a terrible person in this instance, and that Akito has grown.
Mm-hmm.
Allowing them to have an actual dialogue with her.
Yeah, and they talk about how Kureno is there,
Mm-hmm.
and then Akito even admits that she stabbed Kureno and shackled him to her. But once again, just like Tohru, Kureno's not gonna blame Akito.
Mm-mm. And I think that Akito's self-awareness throughout all of this, I'm very curious to see where Akito's, in the closing episodes, where Akito's character goes, both metaphorically and quite literally.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is profound understanding of, I was wrong. I did terrible things. And I think it's pretty undeniable. Akito did terrible, awful things to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But the ability to admit it is the first step to growth. It's like when you go to counseling. If you go to counseling and you refuse to admit that anything's wrong, then you're not going to get anything from counseling. If you're not willing to put in the work or willing to put in the effort to actually make that change, no one can help you until you are willing to actively make that change. People can work towards helping you, and it can slowly become a process, but you need to be on board, and if you're not on board, then it becomes 90,000 times harder.
Are you speaking from experience?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. But then Hanajima, back to the episode. Hanajima, if Homegirl was around, season 1 meeting Akito, it all would have been over.
Literally. I thought about that in this episode. The whole plot hinged on Hanajima just not being around. If she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, she'd be like, who is she? And everyone would be like, she? But, so Hanajima realizes that Akito's a woman, and Kureno needed to stay with someone, and realizes that it was Akito all along.
Well, WandaVision flashbacks. We love.
We stan a WandaVision reference.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
If you haven't watched WandaVision, go watch that. Sorry.
Okay, and then this scene is so cute. Uotani hugs Akito, and I love that she works through these emotions because she admits that the existence of another person that Kureno chose over her, essentially, that isn't what hurt her. It wasn't the existence of Akito that hurt her. It was the realization that she was the outsider. In all 26 years of Kureno's life, Uotani was a footnote. And she has been polishing a single day's memories like a diamond. She's been building it up so much in her head. She only met him once.
She essentially doesn't know him.
Yeah.
You for all intents and purposes, this is a guy that she has literally built up.
Yeah.
And put on this pedestal that she's never actually gotten the opportunity to get to know on a deeper level.
Yeah, they had a passing moment and then a strange interaction date thing.
Yeah.
Talk. They ate noodles.
They ate noodles. And, speaking of that, he was not a cannibal because he was no longer a bird.
You're right.
Yeah, he could eat chicken without feeling guilty. And he was a sparrow, so he could extra eat chicken without.
I love how that's been bothering you. That's been weighing on your mind ever since we talked about that episode, hasn't it been? We never reached resolution on this.
We need to reach resolution on the podcast. The issue arose on the podcast. We need resolution on the podcast. There's closure all around, folks.
Oh my god. Okay.
And so Uotani ends up meeting with Kureno.
And then we get Symbolism Time with Allie Part 2.
Insect edition.
I don't like the insect edition. Can we go back to flowers? I don't like this.
You need butterflies for flowers.
I understand that pollinators are important. However, I would like to look at the things that they pollinate. Please. I don't want to see them. No, I'm like okay with butterflies. Okay, so a butterfly enters the room. It's a white butterfly, a large white butterfly. And that symbolizes selfless love stronger than death. Who does that sound like? That sounds like our boy Kureno. Very, very well.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, like, specifically, like, this selfless love is a huge piece of his character, even though it's kind of misguided at times. Mm-hmm. And so, like, even with the death of the curse and, like, you know, the connection between himself and Akito and his realization that he needs to leave or Akito will never forgive herself, and him saying this out loud. This ties in with that white butterfly, I think. That selfless love stronger than death, even if it's the death of something supernatural. Like, he is still doing what he believes to be best for Akito, even though that was staying with her, now that's leaving.
Yeah, and so the butterfly starts flying off. Uotani says that she's gonna follow, and that butterfly flying is kind of like his freedom. Mm-hmm. Because, like, he doesn't get to fly anymore, but he finally gets to, like, leave the nest.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
He finally gets his freedom. He's not a caged bird anymore. And so... crazy. Okay, so then after his white butterfly starts flying, then it meets up with a yellow butterfly. So yellow butterflies symbolize happiness and prosperity. And when you have two butterflies dancing together like they are, that's a sign of marital love.
Ooh. I wonder if they gonna get married.
I hope they get married after she graduates.
Yeah. Anyways.
After that uncomfortable revelation,
yeah,
let's move on.
Yeah, that's... I don't feel comfortable with that personally, but... You know, whatever. It's animated. It's a TV show.
It's animated, and she said, "Wait for me." So
yes, perfect. There we go.
It's okay.
That's how I am interpreting that. So Shigure and Yuki are in the bamboo, and you had some feelings about this scene.
Why is this scene animated so beautifully?
That is the most
just so beautiful.
That is the most gorgeous bamboo I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, literally ever.
Yeah, I just, like, oh my god, like, they took this show's budget and they went, and let's dump a bunch into this one scene. And, like, I don't care, it's beautiful. Like, I'm a big fan.
But,
it's
like...
so pretty.
Yeah, it was completely needless. But, because it's such just a funny scene.
No, it's just Yuki's sass. Like...
just him... sassing Shigure about not making Tohru cook the second she gets back from the freaking hospital.
Yeah. And I love Yuki's sass. It is so appreciated throughout all of these scenes. Like, whether they're talking about dinner plans or they're talking about how he's gonna kick Kyo's butt, like, he is ready to rumble. He's just bringing the sass.
He's bringing that verbal sparring.
Oh.
Yes. But they get back to the house. Apparently the door's unlocked. Kinda weird.
Yeah, there's a cow in there.
Yeah.
A whole cow.
And secretly, there's a cat. But yeah, one cow named Haru is just chilling in there.
Yeah. And I love this scene. Like, I wanted this scene to be just absolutely perfect straight from the manga so bad. I just love it. Everything that he shares about Rin. And
that's a good way to keep it innocuous for the podcast.
We're not gonna lose our ads. So, good God. So, but then when he's talking about how Rin was worried and she turned all the different colors, like,
is there a chameleon in the zodiac right now?
Oh my god.
Because she ain't the horse anymore. Well, I guess she still is, but she's also a chameleon. Horse.
Chameleon horse.
She's a chimera ant.
Oh.
You're a real one if you know that reference.
I hate that you made that. So, then they realize that Kyo's upstairs, and Yuki acknowledges that Kyo has pain, but guess what? He doesn't care. He should be visiting Tohru at the hospital. Kyo's such a bad cat.
Bad cat.
Spray him with a water bottle.
You know, he would be the perfect one to visit her at the hospital, too, because, like, cats, they bring in, like, therapy cats for a lot of people who are sick in the hospital that they can just, like, pet.
You're right.
That would have been so nice!
If he transformed in the hospital for her so she could pet him, that would be very... Can you imagine that happening?
Being a
he came in, he was like, listen, I wasn't going to come visit, but I heard that therapy cats are really good for people. So if you want to just hug me and let me crawl up on your bed and pet me for a while, that'd be pretty good for you, wouldn't it?
That would be kind of sweet.
It would be sweet.
That
would
be
me thinking of, this would be a good fan fiction. This would be a weird one. I feel like I've read something similar to this.
I'm sorry, this episode came out late, so once again, we are recording this late at night.
Minus the Lucky Charms.
Minus the Lucky Charms, I had Pop-Tarts.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, still got the sugar.
Still got the sugar.
They're making Loki Lucky Charms. Anyways, okay.
So, Yuki eventually goes up, slams the door to Kyo's room.
Yes, clap, 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 you predicted it.
And they have a showdown for the ages, like I wanted them to.
Yeah, you predicted it. You figured it out.
Straight out of Naruto. No, honestly, it's better. In reality, this is probably my favorite interaction between characters in this entire series.
I thought you were going to say it was your favorite anime. I got hype.
I mean, it's easily top 3. Yeah.
Gasp.
Yeah. But no, this interaction between Yuki and Kyo, where they fight to resolve their issues and finally tell each other what they've had in their heads since they were literal children. Mm-hmm. This created a catharsis and a moment I've wanted in this series since like episode 3. Mm-hmm. So good. And the payoff does not disappoint. And I love that the first thing essentially that Yuki asks is if Kyo's running away, which, as we've talked about a lot, is a theme for Kyo.
Oh, yeah.
Kyo's instinct is, like, if we're talking about stress responses, fight, flight, freeze, it's always flight. He always runs away. Mm-hmm. And that's what he's getting ready to do right now.
You're right. You're right.
And the scorn in Yuki's voice in this moment from both the English and the Japanese voice actors, mm-hmm. So on point. So on point. Because it's just, like, loaded with venom.
Yes, yes. And... oh, this one line where Kyo's just like, me being here would hurt her. I can't protect her. It's better if she has you. Like, the fact that he had even been thinking that. Oh, and then Yuki can't handle that. That's where he just loses it.
All the while.
That's when Haru is ordering pizza and nuggets. And just like, every single time they cut back to him, it's just perfect comedy. It's perfect. I so desperately wanted the scene where he's like, and can I get nuggets too? While he's on the phone. I needed that to be in there, and it was perfect.
But Yuki responds in the perfect
That's
way.
The word of the episode.
It is. I love this. He says, protect her from what? You think you're gonna swoop in and save her from falling off a cliff or stop her from being hit by a car? What do you think? You're some kind of superhero? No, you're just a stupid cat.
Ouch.
Which, ouch, but like, he hit on, I don't think he knows about the situation with Kyoko, correct?
No.
But he hit on the 2 things that Kyo is taking responsibility for in that moment. Mm-hmm. Not saving Tohru from falling off a cliff, or not saving Kyoko from being hit by a car. Let's be real, he couldn't have saved either of them. Even if he was there. Like, within normal human limitations, he could not have done anything, even though in his mind, he's convinced himself that he could have.
Yeah. And this is when Kyo finally admits that he wanted to be like Yuki. And that's what he wanted to be. Like, ever since he was a kid, he's like, have you not, like, realized this? Like, I've always wanted to be you. Like, he's the rat. Everyone admired him. He's the prince. He's the freaking president of the school. Everything. And Yuki says, so did I. That's what I wanted. I admired you so much, and now you had to go and say it first like it's nothing. Which means that Kyo finally beat Yuki at something that they both wanted. Because, like, you could say Kyo beat Yuki at getting Tohru's love, but, like, Yuki didn't want that. That's his mom.
Yeah.
Kyo beat him at admitting the feelings that they had for each other. They both had these feelings.
Yeah.
They got to it first.
And so, strictly speaking, even though Akito was going to let him out of the cage and get rid of the cage anyways, he won. He won the bet.
He won?
He won the bet.
Yuki's finally ticked that Kyo beat him to something.
Which, it's so amazing that the thing that he beat him to is them confessing that they just wanted to be the other person and that they admired the other person. They were jealous of each other, which we've talked about this so much, is the grass is always greener on the other side. Mm-hmm. They've both gone through stuff that no human should ever go through. Mm-hmm. But because the other person went through different issues, of course their stuff isn't as bad.
Yeah.
Even though, realistically, they had pretty equal traumas in the fact that everyone's trauma is how they perceive it and how they're able to cope with it. No one will deal with the same stressors the same way. And so you can't say one person's is above the other, you know?
Yeah, and ultimately, did it lead them to the same breaking point? Did they both wish to no longer walk this earth? Yeah, at one point in their lives, they both really started to develop suicidal ideation.
Yeah, and so it doesn't matter how they got there. No, you can't put a weight on trauma like that. Like, his trauma is worse than your trauma because it's trauma.
It's trauma, and it hurt them, and it both hurt them in really terrible, awful ways to make them think of really terrible, awful things to do to themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not good. No comparison games here.
No, none at all. Yuki just saying that they can only be themselves and they only need to accept themselves is something I think everyone needs to hear.
Yeah, like, it's no point just looking at each other and being like, I wish I could have been you, because what does it matter? Use this time to focus on how you can learn to accept and love yourself.
Yeah, which like I said, everyone needs to hear that, whether you're a teenager, a young adult, like a full-grown adult, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, doesn't matter what age you are. You just need to be able to accept yourself for all the good, which there is good, no matter who you are, and all of the struggles.
And Yuki points out that Kyo did protect Tohru, because Kyo was the one who made her smile, and when Kyo was with Tohru, she always looked so happy, and Yuki just doesn't think that he could have made Tohru smile just by being there, like Kyo can. So, Kyo's wrong. He can protect Tohru.
So...
yeah, sorry, Yuki Tohru shippers.
Like, if that's your ship, that's your ship. Like, more power to you, but Yuki denied it.
No, this is like... every single time we were in, like, season 1 and 2, like, talking about Yuki and Tohru, and you're like, does he have feelings for her? Because, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, I kept playing this scene over and over again in my head.
Yeah, because Yuki's only got eyes for the girl with the compatible hair.
Oh.
None other. Well, we'll talk about it. Oh,
gosh. Oh, whoa.
We'll talk about
Cliffhanger.
it. Yeah. So then Kyo heads off to his dad's house.
Yes. But first, we have to see Kisa and Hiro walking together. And this scene crushes me. They both want to know if Hiro, not being in the Zodiac, would bother the other person. Like, is Hiro upset by hanging out with someone who's possessed, and is Kisa upset by being around someone who has been freed? And most importantly, I feel like we've talked about this a lot off podcast, but never on. Because his curse is broken, he can't hug Kisa anymore. Like, if they wanted to be a cute little couple, like right now, they can't hug.
That one
could
hurts.
Before.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Because they're so good. Yeah. They're so pure.
And that's a dynamic that hasn't really been explored. Because it's always like, oh, I met you, like, I've fallen in love with you, I want to hug you.
Yeah.
But not, I could hug you, but now I can't.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
That is a new one. And I'm interested, like, oh, poor babies. But then they see Kyo.
Yes.
And we get to learn a lot about his dad here.
His sperm donor.
Do you need some water?
No.
What was that?
I have to throw it out for the Reddit fans. They like to call Kyo's dad his sperm donor.
Oh, that's what you said.
Oh, you didn't hear
No,
it?
I did.
Oh. You're an actor. I can't
Yes, what can I say? But First off, this attendant must have drawn the short straw.
Oh, yeah, like... she's terrified. She does not want to be there.
They're like, she's new. She can have... I was about to say Mr. Soma, but that's really nondescript.
There's a lot of Mr. Somas.
There is a lot of Mr. Somas. She can have the cat's dad.
Yeah.
She's not doing too hot.
Good luck, girlie.
That's hazing.
His dad is just day drinking. He's on a vacation because he hasn't been feeling well, so alcohol, yeah, that'll fix it, yeah.
Yeah, because, when someone is in a deep depression, relying on a depressant to fix it is gonna do wonders.
Oh, yeah.
Wonders. Not gonna make it worse.
No, never.
No, never.
It's never happened before.
Except that's the only thing it does. That's the only thing alcohol does to depression. It makes you feel good for like 5 minutes, and then it makes it drastically worse when it wears off.
Counseling tip.
Yeah. No, yeah.
We love psychology in this house.
Love it! But yeah, so Kyo, they start having a heated conversation, and Kyo admits that his mother's death is his fault.
His dad liked that answer.
He loved that answer. Like, freaking out, like, he finally admitted it.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's so stoked. He's like, you'll be locked up. Super hyped to see his freaking son go behind bars forever.
But Kyo, it's his choice in that he doesn't want to be locked up, and he refuses to be locked up because he just wants to be with Tohru.
Yeah, but he's unforgivable, and how dare he want to live freely?
So this is a Hallmark case of bad parenting, if you...
Really?
Yeah. If you weren't astute enough to notice. No, it's really terrible, and it shows that just because you're biologically related to an individual, that doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be loyal to them. Not all parents are good parents. Shout
out to all the LGBTQIA+ youth. It's Pride Month. Some of y'all's parents are awful. Some
of your parents are great.
Some of your parents are great, but we've all heard the stories of people's parents being terrible. Just because they're the worst doesn't mean that you have to listen to them.
Yeah, because you're not.
You're not.
You are actively not. So be you. Please. Please.
Gotta do that Pride Month shout out. Happy Pride.
Yeah, happy Pride.
Anyways, yes, that's kind of what that reminded me of. That parent being like, you're the worst, you want to go and live freely and do whatever you want. Some parents are just awful, and you can just say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what Kyo's doing.
And this is when Kyo starts realizing that the words his father's saying right now are the words that tore his mother down when he was a child, when his father was berating and yelling at his wife for giving birth to Kyo. It's domestic abuse 101.
Yeah.
And again, just in case anything that we're talking about is triggering in any way, because these are very real situations that so many people around the world go through. We just ask, as always, that you seek help from someone you trust or from a trained professional. If something is resonating with you in a way that maybe you've never thought of before, or something that you have thought of but felt trapped by, we strongly encourage seeking outside help.
Yes.
But moving on, I think you had mentioned a comparison between Kyo and his dad.
Yeah, they show his dad saying, it wasn't my fault, and then they show little young Kyo from his mom's funeral saying it wasn't my fault. And this is the point when you looked at the screen, you were like, ooh, projection.
Because when he is almost in a manic state, Kyo's dad starts screaming in his face, "You drove her to depression. You're the reason she died. It's you. You're the monster. You." I think he's full aware who drove who to do what.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows that it's his fault, but the more he says you, pushes it off on Kyo, the more he has that scapegoat, the more he can start convincing himself that it wasn't his fault, because it's the evil monster demon cat that killed his wife the second she gave birth to him.
Yeah. And this is when Kyo starts to realize that it was his dad's words that tore down his mom. Like, he was the one who was berating and yelling at Kyo's mom all the time, and he remembered them fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the night before he went off with her to go to the train station, and she passed away, and it's very sad. Every time they keep showing the same scene, it makes me so sad every time I see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I hate that he's standing there. It's so upsetting. Anyways, okay, yes. So, yeah, he starts to realize that those rumors about them getting into a fight, yeah, they were true. He's remembering it, and he's remembering that his mom was lonely and that she had to bear everything on her own, and, like, she couldn't hold her son. She was scared of his other form, and her husband was super abusive. So, like, she did not really have a lot of positivity in her life. She was not really feeling very good.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I wish you would have stayed alive. I wish you didn't, essentially, he calls it throwing yourself away, and, like, throwing your life away, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he says that he won't throw himself away.
Mm-hmm.
He'll try while he's still alive. He's going to really try to live and embrace life to its fullest. Very in stark contrast to his father, who looks emaciated, I might add.
Yeah.
His always unchanging room. It's set up exactly the way it was last time we saw him.
Mm-hmm.
He's living... He can't get past that moment.
Mm-mm. Nope. But then we move on to, weirdly enough, something that you, like, jokingly wished for, but then it came true, and I was not anticipating this because it wasn't in the manga. Anyways, okay. So, we cut to Akito telling the old hag, if you will.
Does she have a name?
No. She literally just doesn't have a name. Okay. It was just, like, unnamed maid who was old and mean and awful, and honestly, like, the antagonist, low-key, because she never had a backstory. Anyways, okay, so Akito was talking about how she's gonna go talk to Kyo's father and that the cat's room is going to be destroyed. And the old hag is like, I envy you young people. You can change your whole way of life so easily. And she goes on to talk about her backstory and how she's been living there for so long and she can't change now. Like, she can't walk away from the life that she built here and change her ways. Because, like, she just can't. She's been doing it for so long.
Yeah, and...
It's her backstory. You wanted her backstory and we didn't think we'd get it. We got it.
And... weirdly enough, it does give context to her actions and why she did what she did.
Yeah.
She gave that box to Akito, not out of interest for Akito, but because she knew it would return her world to status quo.
Mm-hmm.
All she was interested in is things kind of staying even keel. Curse stays put, her life stays as it was, things keep trucking forward. She takes care of Akito. That's what she does. That's what she's always done. Now, who knows? So she's always looked out for number one, just so that she doesn't have to change, so that she doesn't have to adapt to the world around her.
Yeah.
As the world is, as Shigure pointed out, quickly changing, and if you don't change, then it will leave you behind.
Yeah, even the little details, like all while she's talking, she's touching that beam, that wooden beam that Hatsuharu punched, and they filled it in with new wood to fix the beam. And she's talking about change and touching this new wood that replaced the old wood. Like, things are changing. It is not ever the same. The wood isn't always going to stay the same. Things are going to happen, and they're going to have to move and adapt. And she's not ready to do that. So Akito's like, stay where you are. I'm going. It's past time I moved on. So, yeah, go Akito. We love a redemption arc.
And so Kyo leaves his dad's.
Yes. And Yuki, we're getting that same speech you were talking about. He's still reflecting on failure and making mistakes. And he says that he needs to keep on walking while we see Kyo's feet moving.
And
yes.
He says that we need to move toward that something or that someone at our destination. I'm just curious as to what you think. Who's that someone for Yuki?
Ring, hello?
Hello? Is this Machi calling?
Yes, yeah, for sure. I know this is out of the blue, but can we meet? There's something I want to give you.
Yuki's gone.
He's gone. He ran down those stairs.
Did you see me? I was crying at this scene.
No, I know. You clenched my hand.
I am so excited.
I wish I would record our reactions, but honestly, you would just see us, like, mouth open, just going like, oh my god, what? For 30 minutes.
And then a singular tear rolled down my cheek.
Yeah, we're just not very emotive.
No, not really. I just get really into it and I freeze.
Yeah.
Unless I hit something. Like I did with the pillow last time there was a Machi Yuki scene.
You were less aggressive this time.
Yeah, I was much less aggressive this time. I was just in shock because it's been so long.
My joints in my hand removed. They're gone. They dissolved.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm so excited. What's he getting?
I don't know. What's he gonna get?
I don't know.
What's in the bag?
What if she gives him a leaf?
She was holding something.
A pet mouse.
Like okay, you keep saying small things, and she was holding something larger than that.
It would have to be in a cage.
She's not holding a cage. She's holding like a bag of something.
Candy.
She's giving him candy.
Oh, that'd be
cute. Yes, candy.
It's not that sentimental, though. I don't know.
We'll see.
I
guess.
Back to Kyo.
Mm-hmm. So he's going through his whole internal monologue struggle where he's thinking about, like, will Tohru even accept her anymore? And if she does he still love her? And I love that he goes through the what, why, how. He's like, what do I love about her? Why do I love her? How much do I? And then he cuts himself off like, I don't know, that doesn't really matter because I just love her.
At least I know who.
At least I know who. That's an important one. What if he was like, who do I love again?
Who do I love?
Yeah.
Kakeru? No.
Not that one.
Not that one.
No. John's new thing is every single time we watch the opening, he sings along to it, and he sings lonely when he sees Kagura. You're ruthless. You're mean.
She's like one of the only ones who doesn't like show up on screen with anyone else. It's just her standing in the dark. I feel so bad.
Poor Kagura.
Poor Kagura. Like, it's brutal. I mean, at least she gets a spot other than... Who's that other one? I don't know. They're probably monkeying around somewhere.
Yes.
I don't even remember what their name is.
Stop. Sorry, Ritsu. Okay, so then...
that's it.
So then we get to the hospital, and he sees Tohru, and Tohru's looking super cute. Won't lie, always imagined her shirt to be pink here, but I'm really happy it's blue, because that's just a nice color. Anyways, okay. I like, you have no idea how many times I've imagined the scene of her running. Like, I've been waiting for so long to just see her book it. Like, you understand how long. And she ran so much faster than I imagined she would.
She was a freaking track star.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
But no, she's going. And he just...
This is exactly where I wanted the episode to end.
He screams, I'm faster than you. Like, that would stop her. All the while, Hanajima and Uotani are just like, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Please, you shouldn't be sprinting the second you get out of the hospital. I wanted the music to start right when he said that, and it did, and it was perfect. It was perfect.
Perfect.
What are your predictions for ye old next episode, Goodbye? Akito says it. What does that mean, huh?
Well, we have how many episodes? 3?
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine we have a lot of curses to break here pretty soon. And not a lot of time to do it. How many have broken? 2?
3.
3.
Yeah, Kureno, Momiji, Hiro.
I completely forgot Momiji's broke.
Rude! Don't do my boy like that.
Sorry, Momiji.
So
It was a lapse in judgment. You weren't in this episode. I'm sorry.
We got 10 animal curses to break and 1 god curse. Because she's involved.
I wonder, because they can't break the bonds, I wonder, since she is God, if she can just do the ye old snip on her own, on all the bonds, you know? Like if she has the power to just like break all the bonds at once.
Because she's a god.
Small G.
I mean, she's ruling over her territory.
All 10 people.
All 10 people.
It's a pretty small religion, but okay. I'll give it to you.
The old hag almost worshipped her still, but then she had to go and be like, later.
Bye. So, yeah. I think that's what's gonna happen, is curses go snip.
Anything else? Are we gonna see Machi? She's written out of the next episode, right? For sure.
We need the wonderful compatible hair duo to kiss.
A smooch?
Smooch.
You think Yuki's finally gonna get a kiss from a girl after watching Hatsuharu and Rin for so long? Dropping his bag like you can kiss girls?
I think it's gonna happen. And
Are Kyo and Tohru gonna smooch?
not this episode. You can't. What do you think this is?
They already smooched!
A shoujo?
Stop.
They're not gonna have 2 people kiss in one episode.
Are they not allowed?
No.
Why?
What?
It's not a shonen.
So?
We can't have 2 people kissing. Wait, have there ever been 2 on-screen kisses in a shonen?
I mean, not in the same episode. Maybe there have. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't watch shonen.
I'm just saying that they've been really holding out on these kisses, that they're not gonna start doling them out like candy, Allie. They've really kept them close
candy.
to the vest. Yeah, that's why she's gonna be the one to give Yuki a kiss.
This is how you developed your theory.
Yeah. And therefore, Kyo and Tohru can't kiss this upcoming episode, because that would be 2 in one episode. There's been like 3 in the whole series.
I love how, like, the natural progression of things is, like, Kyo and Tohru have already technically kissed before, so it makes sense for them to smooch again. But you're like, no, I've decided that it's Yuki and Machi's turn. We take turns here. So therefore, they already got a turn. It's over for them.
So here's how it's gonna go.
Okay. Please tell me everything.
This past episode, the one that we just saw last week, was Kyo and Tohru.
Okay.
This episode, break. We needed to cool down. Next episode is Yuki and Machi.
Okay.
Okay? That's
Okay.
episode 11. Episode 12 is going to be Kyo and Tohru again. Do you know who it's going to be episode 13?
Is that gonna be Shigeru and Akito?
No.
I don't know.
Kakeru and his girlfriend.
Oh, right. We need Kakeru's girlfriend.
Duh. Ellie, duh.
We have the last episode.
It's just Kakeru. It's gonna be great. And then
The preview images are all just zoom-ins of Kakeru's face.
He finally gets a Power Rangers uniform. I'm so excited for the finale.
Because it's just gonna be Kakeru?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see.
So do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Alright, well then, I think that would do it for this episode of our Fruits Basket podcast.
Let's go to bed.
Yeah. So, if you like this kind of content, you want to see more of it coming from this channel, then make sure you like the video, subscribe, and why don't you ring that notification bell so you never miss another upload. And me and Allie have zesty Twitters where we post fun tweets all the time. So if you don't follow us on Twitter, you should follow us on Twitter. Yeah, I haven't plugged that before, but now I am.
Ooh.
Yeah. Dang. And if you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is to go onto our Teespring page, where you can buy either our Crow t-shirt, which is Persona 5, or our Hanakatoba t-shirt, which is Fruits Basket inspired. So, as always, we hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, a fantastic rest of your week, and why not even a fantastic rest of your month. And we will see you in the next video. Later.
See ya.